Kidnapped by Orochimaru Part 5, and last time we left off on, not Orochimaru, Naruto basically killing Tenten on accident, and, what else happened? Them him getting called to the Hokage's office by, Jiraiya for them to go get, the new Kage. And, sorry. He was basically already debriefed on who they were gonna go get and basically who she was and what she did. So Naruto, he's ready, and he basically is gonna be learning exactly the same, not the exact same thing actually. Jiraiya is basically gonna be trying to teach him Sage Mode, Snake Sage Mode at the best of his ability because he doesn't have the snake summoning. So Naruto, he basically, whenever they get a break, he's going to a cave. Basically, that's where the reverse summoning sends you when you reverse summoning with your snake summoning. That's where it sends you to select the type of cave. So Naruto, he's been doing all that, been practicing on Sage Mode. He's basically halfway finished with learning it when they run up to a bar one day and they see Tsunade. And sorry for that. They see Tsunade and they go sit down and talk to Tsunade and stuff. And Naruto, his whole life, hasn't actually liked Tsunade or Jiraiya until recently. Jiraiya, but he was just raised and born to not like Tsunade by Orochimaru, and he, even though he knows Orochimaru was a backstabbing rat, he knows some pretty good facts about Tsunade and how she was a kind of bad person. So he's really angry most of the time that they're there. And Jiraiya knows that he doesn't like Tsunade. So Tsunade basically ends up talking about the fourth Hokage. And this scares Jiraiya, because Jiraiya can feel a whole bunch of dark energy coming from Naruto. And Jiraiya gets scared because he knows that Naruto knows that the fourth is his dad now. So they have the whole fight that they did in canon. She made that bet. So they start their fight. And they teleport to the woods because they know Jiraiya teleports them to the woods because he knows it's going to be way bigger than the original one was. So Naruto, he uses body flicking and kicks Tsunade. But right before he kicked her, she was able to block just in time. But it still sends her flying. And then he body flickers behind that, and he makes Rasengan, and Tsunade is able to stop this Rasengan and throw him down to the ground. And she makes the bet that if he can make a real Rasengan, in a week, because she knows he hasn't mastered it, in a week, then she'll become the Hokage and give him the necklace. And Naruto, he basically makes a Rasengan and blows it, smashes it into a tree, and it breaks 15 trees behind it. And Tsunade didn't realize that Naruto actually knew the Rasengan, and she's pretty mad. And they go back to the village, and they basically didn't even see Orochimaru. So they go back to the village really quick, and Naruto, he realizes that he was told that Orochimaru attacked the village while he was gone, but they were able to handle him for a while, and he just ran away. And he realized that Orochimaru was been coming back for Naruto, not Sasuke, actually this time. So Naruto, he leaves a message on his door. And Neji, he's not home. He leaves a message at his door. That he's gonna join Orochimaru, but he's gonna eventually take him down, no matter what he has to do or how long it takes. He's gonna kill Orochimaru, and he leaves this message at his door, signed by himself. So he leaves and he sees the Sound 4 and Orochimaru. And Orochimaru basically gives not. Actually, Orochimaru, he already has the curse mark. No, Orochimaru's not there. Sound 4 is. And Naruto, he already has curse mark 2. So, Miss Naruto, he will, they will be making a team to get Orochimaru. And it's basically Neji, Rock Lee, Shikamaru, but Neji's the leader of this team this time. Neji, Shikamaru, Lee, Sasuke, Sakura, Ino, Kiba, and Shino, and Choji. So Naruto, they basically go exactly how they did in canon. First they meet Jirobo, Choji stays there with Ino. They meet the flute girl, Shikamaru stays there. They meet that one boy with the 2 heads. Kiba and Sakura stay there. They meet Kimamaru. Lee stays there, like as in canon. And Neji heads on with, actually Lee and Sasuke stayed there. Cause Lee's not drunk Lee anymore, so he's gonna need help. So Neji goes forward, and Naruto, he sees Naruto at the Valley of the End. Sasuke is still the reincarnation of Ender, unless I said something different. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I said Sasuke is still the reincarnation of Ender, or something like that. So Neji calls out Naruto's name, and he calls out Naruto's name, and Naruto looks back and he sees Neji's there, and he basically asks Neji why did he come after him. Neji told him to bring you home, idiot. Can't just leave. It's not how it works. Then I'll have to fight you, Neji. Guess this is where it ends. And they charge at each other. Naruto body flickers behind him and kicks him. But Neji has his Byakugan activated already. So does Naruto, but Neji, he's able to block this just in time. And he gets sent flying into a rock. But he stands up. He's still able to stand up. Naruto, I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna break every bone in your body so you don't have any way to move anymore. I'm gonna take you back to Leaf. I'm gonna take you back to Leaf and make sure you stay there for good. And he turned around and Naruto's already behind him with the Rasengan ready, and Neji dodges this and just cuts off a whole bunch of chakra points in Naruto's arm. So he's basically not going to be able to use Rasengan in that arm anymore. And this makes Naruto mad, and he starting to gain the tailless cloak, like half of it. And Naruto can, Neji can see this. So he pushes on Naruto's seal before he can gain any tail because he knows about Kurama and what Kurama tries to do to Naruto when he gets angry because he's seen it firsthand. And this hurts a lot to Naruto because it just does. So Naruto, he flips backwards like 3 times and starts to basically charge up his chakra. And in these past few weeks that it's been since Naruto's got back from the leaf from getting Tsunade, he's mastered basically the Sage mode, Snake Sage mode. So he's had a Shadow Clone gathering up Sage chakra, and he enters Sage mode. And Neji, he looks up at Neji with basically more snake-like features. Naruto's always been like snake-like Orochimaru, but way more snake-like now. And he summons a whole bunch of little snakes, and they go after Neji, and Neji's able to destroy all of them until he uses a Trigon's air palm on Naruto, and it hits him, but then Naruto bursts into snakes, and he senses Naruto chakra right behind him, and he gets smacked by Naruto, and Neji gets sent up into Hashirama's face. And he Naruto, just to tell you, he hasn't used any sort of curse mark form at all, or Kurama's chakra, because he can't use Kurama's chakra. Because I'm going to say when Neji hit Naruto's shield with his gentle fist, it knocked out Kurama. So he basically gets up out of Hashirama's head. We're going to say Naruto taught him the Rasengan because he just has, because that's his best friend. He wanted to teach him a really good jutsu that he knew. So Naruto, he makes a Rasengan, and Neji makes Rasengan, and they charge at each other. Naruto jumps up and Neji falls down at each other, and they basically both clash with Rasengan and fly. And Neji, he flies, and Naruto flies into the water. Naruto gets up and looks at Neji, and he sees Neji's knocked out, and he lays his headband right by Neji, and he leaves with the Sound 4. Not the Sound 4. The Sound 4 still back there. Nope, yep, the Sound 4, because the Sound 4 retreated from their fight since they knew they were gonna lose if they stayed. So we do this time skip, the 3-year time skip between Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. So they basically, Naruto's been doing the exact same training Sasuke did. He's picked up Kenjutsu, and he doesn't wear the same outfit anymore. He wears a mask now, but it's a full face mask, like an Ambu mask, but different. And he wears a black cloak. I don't remember if I said he wore that before, but he wears that with some pants and some black pants and black shinobi shoes. And his sword is basically a black handle and red, not red, but light blue katana, that he wears on his waist, basically. And then he's been doing the same stuff Sasuke did. Like he been doing getting tested on by Orochimaru and stuff like that. And Orochimaru actually been testing on him more and giving him more of those pills and stuff that he gave Sasuke because he still thinks of Naruto as a test dummy, but he's starting to think that he can be a vessel instead of Sasuke because he's way more powerful than Sasuke right now. And then Neji, he's been training way harder than anybody else, even Naruto. So he's learned the Hyuga style one finger Rasengan. He's learned the a Hyuga style 358 palm. Hyuga style fire. No, Hyuga style. That's it. All the Hyuga style. That's all he knows. And then he knows air style, great breakthrough, one style, one bullet, one style, sight, and he knows water style, water dragon, and water style, water missile. And he knows water style. Not water style, one style Rasengan. So it's not the Rasen Shuriken or nothing. It's just one style Rasengan. And Naruto, he knows all 5 chakra natures. He knows not one style Rasengan. He knows fire style Rasengan. Basically envelops you, engulfs you in fire. And he knows lightning cloak stage 1.5. And he learned a combination jutsu with his snake. And it's basically an acid stream. Makes an acid stream with combining water style and earth style, and with his earth style and water style chakra natures with his snake's chakra, and his snakes combines all that with his own special venom style. Well, not venom style. What was I gonna say? His special fire style, and it basically comes off like acid. And it's basically acid stream, and that's really what Naruto learned. And Sasuke, he's learned Chidori's Dream, Chidori Blade, Fire Style, Fire Dragon Missile, Fire Style, Fire Cloak. It basically makes you way stronger, and it burns people in contact. And Neji, he's learned, Wind Style Wind Cloak. It makes you way faster. It even compares to the Lightning Cloak. You're gonna say it makes you faster than the Lightning Cloak does. And it cuts really easy without using a blade. Like if you slice at somebody with your hand, it will cut them. So Naruto, that's basically what those 3 learned. Everybody else is basically still the same. Except for Tenten, because she dead. And Naruto in these past 3 years has grown pretty close to Sugetsu, and he promised Sugetsu after he kills Orochimaru, he'll let him out and they can probably do something together, become friends or something. and he knows Kari. And those are basically all the things that's been happening recently. But that's where I'm gonna leave it off. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss when I upload another video. Boom, I'm out.